Hey, thanks for coming back. So today, day 4, we are working on grounding. It's one of my favourite themes. So those of you who come to my in-person classes, you'll know that I love to work with grounding because I come to yoga through a mental health lens. I'm bipolar and I really need to ground through the feet. So I work with this a lot and I'd love to share with you today some of the practices that have helped me on my journey with mental health. So you're going to find your roots through the feet. We've talked a bit about this already. If you've got socks on, that's totally fine. I just like having my socks off so that I can really find that strong base through the feet. So then start to tune into those roots going all the way down, 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 down through the earth. Let's take an inhale through the soles of the feet. And an exhale through the soles of the feet. Nice. Let's start waking up the legs. We're going to come to tree pose in a bit, but first we'll just warm up a little bit. It might be that you want to hold on to something, like it could be a chair, it could be the wall, if you're not feeling so grounded today. If you're on carpet, it can sometimes feel better to come off your mat so that you've got more grounding. So we're just going to lift up through one leg, see how that feels, and then maybe a little opening out to the side. If we're on the chair, we can do that equally well. So we'll do that again, same leg. I'm just going to show it on the chair. So just find a little opening here. Nice. One more. Lovely. And then let's swap over. So really be mindful, being in the hips, being in the body as we do these movements. And seeing if we can match breath with movement. It doesn't matter so much which way you breathe, but it's about having that mindfulness. The breath is really like a gateway into the present. So when we tune into the breath, we're tuning into being here, now, and that can help us to get out of our heads. So, going back onto the first side, the one that you started with, we'll inhale, drawing the knee up, out to the side, and maybe all the way around, like a little circle here. So with this standing leg, we don't want to lock the knee. So if you don't know what I mean, locking is a bit more like that, kind of jamming it. We want to still keep a little micro bend, keep it soft, but we're not sinking into it. We're rooting to rise, we're standing up out of the earth. So coming to the other side. And doing the little clicks and clunks if you've got those going on, as long as you feel safe. And then releasing. Lovely. Super. So let's just open up a bit through the knee. So bringing the knee up, and then extending and bending. So again, trying to slow it down a little bit. In our busy, busy world, it's quite hard to find that discipline to slow down. And then just coming to some little ankle circles, if that feels nice. Great. Other side. Again, still feeling those roots through the standing foot. So you're still grounded here. And then your little circles. What about your foot? My foot has lots of clicks. And then releasing. Awesome. So we're coming into our tree pose. I'm just going to show you on the chair first. So from the chair, you might like to have something like blocks or a pile of books so that you can open up through the side. If you're not being steady, holding on. So we're finding this kind of side opening here and planting that foot. I probably need the blocks that way so that I can actually ground my foot. That's better. Lovely. And seeing if we can connect to our sense of self here, our center. And then up to you. You could bring the hands to prayer. You might send them up, growing the branches of your tree, getting creative. See how it feels. I've got 2 blocks here, but maybe you want it a bit lower, just have a little play around. Take your time to set up, and I'm going to show it on the mat. So again, on the mat, you might like to hold on to something, a chair or the wall. See how your balance feels, just making sure it's safe. So then we're going to ground through one foot, lifting the other heel to the ankle, and maybe we pause here. This is a lovely tree. Option to bring the foot to the kind of calf area, but just be mindful of the knee. We don't want to be pressing against the knee. And then if you're happy here, stay here and connect to those roots. Connect to this sense of a tree, this real grounded sense, part of nature. But maybe you want to play with your balance, bring in the hands to the heart space. You don't need to be rigid. You can come in and out of it. That is totally cool. Or maybe even you've got a bit of movement here. Maybe you want to grow your branches and play around, testing your balance. Connect to the breath, connect to that core, wherever we are, whether we're seated or standing. Beautiful forest of trans trees. And then gently calming out of it wherever you are. Super, let's take a little sway. Ooh, just let that concentration go for a minute. Nice one. Great, so if you're on the chair, you're going to move your props around to the other side. We're going to open up through the other leg. So, for example, my body at something like that. I think that's almost too high actually for me on this side. Our body is very symmetrical. So, if we're standing, maybe holding on to something, maybe not. We're going to rest the foot, bringing it up, making sure you're doing the opposite side to what you did before. And then either growing your branches or finding stillness. Perhaps stillness is what you need today. Really only you know that. These videos are just an invitation. You are your own best teacher, and you are doing so well. If you have got to the point in your life where you're tuning in for a trans yoga session, I'd say you know yourself pretty well. Lovely. Find that breath. Stay with the breath. And let it go. Amazing. Just coming back to our set position. So from the chair, just finding the legs parallel, grounding through the sits bones and the feet. And if we're standing, really feeling that strong base. Let's take an inhale through the soles of the feet again. And an exhale through the soles of the feet. Either closing the eyes or just keeping a soft gaze as we say silently to ourselves, I am grounded. I am grounded. I am grounded. Big inhale. Let it go with a sigh. Opening the eyes. Amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being you, for being uniquely you. See you tomorrow.